Hello YouTube, Freddy Cardona here. Welcome back to another Driving in the News. Just wanted to bring your attention to this video. This is a video I uploaded over the weekend. We had a lot of severe weather with floodwaters. Victims needed to be rescued from those floodwaters. And if you want to check it out, I'm going to post a link to this in the description below. Or not in the description, but in the comments. So I was monitoring, let me raise the volume a little bit. I was monitoring Patterson, Fairlawn, Clifton, Garfield, Passaic.
Party stuck in the water. Fire down to all members of engine 3 and truck 4. Spots is requested 226 Banda Ave. Standby for the crosses. Looking for a brown Nissan occupied with a party stuck in the water.
Let me zoom out a little bit just to show you that's the video there.
I don't know if I'm going to make it there. Union Boulevard is pretty much a river in the area of Toto Road.
So yeah, that's about a half-hour video. If you want to check it out, grab some popcorn.
I'm going to be there in about 2 minutes.
It gives you an idea of what first responders go through.
Let me know if I need to bring something, we will.
All right, guys, let's get you into the news video. You can hear the rain outside my window.
Get him out of there.
It sounds like something's frying. All right, but that's the video. I'll link it down in the comments below so you can check it out. All right, guys, let's get you into the news video.
Here too, F46.
For early afternoon, high 76. More people get their news from 1010 Wins than from any other radio station in the nation. Justin Schrager is at the editor's desk, and I'm Scott Stanford.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning, 72 degrees. It is 8 o'clock on this Wednesday, September 13th. I'm Susan Richard, and here's what's happening. Flood watch in effect for much of the area for today with some more heavy rain on tap. We'll check in with AccuWeather. Parts of the tri-state prepping for the effects of Hurricane Lee. Road rage leads to gunfire in Astoria. Our Glenn Schuck with the story. Kim and Putin have their big meeting with the North Korean leader calling the war in Ukraine Russia's sacred fight. And a dream job for Taylor Swift fans. We'll explain. In sports, Yanks swept a doubleheader against the Red Sox. Mets beat Arizona. And, yep, the Jets confirm it. Aaron Rodgers out for the entire season. Wins News Time 8:01. Traffic and transit. Here's Karen Stewart.
Long Islanders eastbound on the LIE at exit 37 for Willis Avenue. We have an accident. It's over on the right shoulder. There are slowdowns. The westbound side of the LIE is pretty slammed here, traveling from New Hyde Park Road and trying to get out into the Clearview. We're slammed again from 188th Street out to 108th, and then busy from 108th to Woodhaven Boulevard. And the delay to the Queens Midtown Tunnel is going to start at 58th Street in Maspeth. Over on the BQE going westbound, we might even have an accident there between Queens Boulevard and the LIE. We're checking into that one a little bit further for you. On a day where mass transit is recommended, both directions, the W's are completely suspended. Throughout this morning's rush hour, the MTA says, crews are repairing vandalized trains. Use the NQ and R's in the city, and in Queens, take the 7Ns or the Q102s. We've got Brooklyn-bound R train delays with signal problems at 26th Street, and all your major metropolitan commuter lines are doing very, very well. In the northern suburbs, the southbound Bronx River Parkway at Hardy Road in Yonkers has a new accident. The right lane's closed. Alternate side of the street is in effect today citywide. Traffic and Transit is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Traffic and Transit every 10 minutes around the clock. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Shop fresh fruit at Whole Foods Market. Get organic Honeycrisp apples for $3.29 per pound with Prime through September 19th. Build a delightfully refreshing fruit bowl with best of season produce. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
All right, we had a messy start to this Wednesday commute for some spots this morning, but this forecasting feels like a moving target a little bit.
It really does. And in fact, I'm just gave you updated wording on the dashboard there that as we go through the rest of the day, I think there's still some hefty showers lingering on Long Island and up in the Connecticut suburbs. We're looking at a break here as we go through the city and inland spots with varying amounts of clouds. Some may try to peak out a little bit, but we will see another shower thunderstorm. We think this and through the entire area this afternoon into early evening. Down anywhere, but any storm, especially as you go north and east of the city, Connecticut, Long Island, and the Hudson Valley suburbs could have those damaging wind gusts, possibly wrapping up in a brief tornado. Temperatures will get up to 76 today and then drop back down to 61 tonight. Tomorrow turns out mostly sunny, breezy, lower humidity, a high 74, and then breezy and partly sunny on Friday, the high 73. Lee's impacts on the coast will start pounding the shore with rip current and high surf problems mounting up today, continuing into tomorrow. First, it's the Jersey and the south-facing Long Island beaches, but then our attention turns as the storm passes by on Saturday to North Shore Long Island beaches for some push from the north with the winds coming out of the north, and maybe those the barrier island bays on the south shore from the north side could get some flooding. We're also going to keep an eye on some showers and some gustiest winds out in the eastern forks of Long Island. That's the biggest impacts from Lee that we see going forward. 72 on our way up to 76. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeBoer, New York's weather station, 1010 Winds, 92.3 FM.
Yeah, let's talk a little more about Hurricane Lee.
I just blocked the camera for a minute as a school crossing guard was crossing some children right in front of the camera.
Emergency Services has set up a storm watch center, and they're monitoring all the conditions closely. We have over 4,000 DOT and thruway operators ready to respond in any way to assist as well. We have over 5,500 members of utility crews ready to step in the event that power lines come down.
She's also deploying 50 National Guard members to Long Island. Here in the city, the OEM commissioner is encouraging folks in flood zones to review your emergency plans. He says stay informed through Notify NYC. As always, stay with 1010 Winds as we continue to track the storm along with AccuWeather. A case of road rage in Astoria. They'll have one guy with a gunshot wound.
The search continues this morning for the shooter who fled in this red Mini Cooper moments after this incident that all began about 10 minutes after 9 here at the intersection of 21st Avenue and 38th Street. In fact, right near the school, IS 141. Witnesses are saying the Mini Cooper suddenly stopped and was hit in the rear bumper by a food delivery worker, a guy delivering food for Uber on a moped. Now, after that minor fender bender, one of the three people inside the Mini Cooper got out, escalated into a major argument with this delivery guy. The Mini Cooper passenger then pulling out a gun and shooting the delivery man in the arm. The 28-year-old victim rushed over to Elmhurst Hospital. I'm told he's in stable condition this morning. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM in Astoria.
There is a new look now at how the NYPD is handling quality of life issues in the borough since then Commissioner Keechant Sewell announced a crackdown last year. The city.nyc says thousands more people are facing criminal charges instead of being issued a ticket in line with the law that was passed in 2016. This is for things like public drinking, urination, and littering. 90% of those charged are black or Hispanic, and public advocate Jumani Williams is calling that problematic. In response, the NYPD issued a statement saying these offenses are seen as a precursor to violence, and that if a person has an active warrant or recidivist status, they are subject to arrest. Another clash between cops and migrants over unregistered mopeds. 12 mopeds seized, one man arrested outside a Chick-fil-A. That was on Flatbush Avenue in downtown Brooklyn. It comes less than a week after 6 migrant men were arrested and 2 cops were injured. That was in a brawl over the very same issue in East Williamsburg. Well, New York State has asked the Biden administration multiple times to reduce the waiting period for migrants to get work permits. The White House says only Congress can authorize that. Now, Governor Hochul is looking to bypass Washington altogether.
The governor met with legislative leaders to come up with a state work authorization plan she calls unprecedented.
My attorneys are working on it as we speak. I spoke about this at the White House.
Embarking on a month-long surge to find work-eligible migrants in the shelters.
I'll be speaking about this more in a couple of days, really ramping up our efforts to identify them in shelters, say, you're already eligible, go work.
but a senior federal official said employment authorization is very clearly a federal authority and not something we would encourage states to pursue. A spokesman for the governor said all options are being considered. Marla Diamond, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy orders an impeachment probe against President Biden. It comes as McCarthy faces a possible ouster.
Speaker McCarthy has been under pressure from conservative members of his own party to bring this impeachment inquiry for months now.
Here we are, 8 months later, and we haven't even sent the first subpoena to Hunter Biden.
Some far-right members of the GOP may have forced McCarthy's hands because Congress has until the end of the month to pass spending bills or the government will shut down.
Use the power of the purse to stop this administration.
Conservatives are demanding McCarthy comply with their demands, or they say they'll call for a vote to remove him as Speaker.
That's Skylar Henry reporting. The White House called the impeachment probe extreme politics at its worst. Getting the new iPhone? Just know your old charger won't work. New ones have C-cable chargers, but that's not the only update.
Now let's talk about iPhone. Apple has pulled the wraps off the iPhone 15. The standard models come in 2 sizes, and this year they inherit a feature from the higher-end Pro model. 9 to 5 Max Chance Miller says it's called the Dynamic Island.
First and foremost, that's where Apple hides the front-facing camera and the Face ID hardware, but then they've tied it into some software integration so you can do things like control your music playback, track notifications.
Mike Dubosky, ABC News.
Lewis Pugh is almost there. He's the 53-year-old endurance swimmer from Plymouth, England, who's about to finish a 315-mile swim down the Hudson River from the Adirondack Mountains to the tip of Lower Manhattan. He has powered through fatigue and sore shoulders. He's dodged tugboats and even plastic garbage. In fact, the reason he's doing this is to highlight the importance of clean rivers. Previous swims have included the Red Sea and the English Channel. The Hudson swim began a month ago. He's expected to complete that journey today. Folks in Middlesex County pointing the finger at the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. This is over their homes, which are apparently this close to falling into a creek.
There's a sinkhole on Heather Lane in Middlesex, New Jersey. One home is on the edge of an 18-foot drop. With every heavy rain, the Green Brook gobbles up more backyards. Resident Al Platt.
It's just a matter of time before we get another Ida or another storm that's really just going to destroy this entire cul-de-sac.
Here's the irony. Middlesex Mayor John Madden suspects a flood control is to blame. An Army Corps of Engineers pump station.
My opinion, it's since a project was started, although the officials deny that. I think that's what exacerbated the problem. Unfortunately, the rains, we've been getting violent rains.
The Army Corps of Engineers has not responded to requests for comment. For residents, though, a glimmer of hope. The local flood commission is trying to get local, state, and federal officials to meet to look for answers. Sean Adams, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Driving in the News for September 13th, 2023. Make sure you check out the audio, that video of all the audio of the first responders for that severe weather that we had over the weekend. They had issues with flooding, cars, victims stuck in floodwaters. Yeah, make sure you check that out. It's about a half-hour video, so you may want to do it when you're just relaxing and you just want to grab a popcorn and chill and relax and check it out. All right, guys, see you on the next video.